And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? And the day is finally here. Welcome to Daybreak. So let's see what we got here. Oh, I see. So this is the collection screen. It's showing you on the left what you've unlocked for the actual Daybreak game mode, and on the right what you've unlocked in the actual State of Decay playthrough. All right, simple enough. So let's see if we can find a game. And so right away we run into hiccup number one. That took about 6 minutes of staring at that screen before we finally found a game. And I'll be honest with you guys, one of the first things I was curious about was implementation. Would this be launched better than the base State of Decay game was? And I have to say, unfortunately, the answer is not really. This screen here, you select your starting gear. You'll get options as you progress in Daybreak. You'll be able to unlock additional gear to start with, but for now, these are your choices. Not all that great, really. Horror Breakers, Stormbringer, both 7.62. One's got 60, one's got 40, so don't know why you would ever use the Horde Breaker. Just bring the Stormbringer. And so here is the uplink site you got to defend. You got these 3 cases in the back. These are the things you want to grab. These wall kits allow you to rebuild or repair the walls/barricades. So you got the shotgun in the left, in the right, or in the middle, I should say. You've got a Stormbringer and some 7.62, and over here you got your Horde Breaker. So here we can see the other players. We've joined a game that's already in progress. We're in between waves right now. Looks like we joined right before the start of, I think it's wave 2. You can see the Daybreak progress up there on the left. And really cool thing, if you survive all the way to the end, at the end of the last wave, the sun comes up, dawn breaks, get it, Daybreak. So that's pretty cool. Out here you can see the Clio drops. Clio drops don't drop after the first wave. They don't start until after the second wave. So yeah, clearly we came in at the end of round 2 here. So I'm just kind of running around exploring the map here. You can see your technician's health there in the top left. You can actually bandage him. Don't know if you can use a first aid kit on him or not. But you can bandage him, and from what I've seen so far, one bandage seems to heal him all the way back up. So that's pretty nice. And you got these ramps up here where you can shoot. You can go down inside and shoot. I like the Waffle House. I think they call it, Waffle Depot over there. Or you can stand here behind the wall and shoot out the slats there. In my experience playing the game so far, and mind you, I've only played 3 games because I wanted to get this out to you guys as quick as I could after we bandage up the technician here. It's actually better to push out and defend away from the wall rather than try to defend from behind it. And you can see it looks like most of these guys are going to do pretty much the same thing. And here we're going to run into the second problem I encountered while trying to play Daybreak. One, there's a little bit of lag and frame drop, and so that creates problem 2, which is your hits aren't going to register. And to me, I'm guessing it's because it's playing off of like peer-to-peer off of other people hosting. So yeah, like look at that, absolutely terrible. Reminiscent of For Honor when it was first released. So yeah, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you any more about it because this was the only multiplayer game I actually got to play. Like I said, it took me about 6 minutes to connect to this game, and after this game, it flat refused to connect to any others. All I would get was an error. Other matches could not be found. I tried the whole troubleshooting thing, going through the Windows Defender and the firewall, making firewall exceptions for State of Decay. Did all of that. None of it helped. Could not, for the rest of today at least, get another multiplayer game. So I don't know why in the world this one worked and it refused to afterwards. Can't explain it. But there again, you see the lag, like kind of weird. That seemed to register fairly well. And up in the top left again in the green numbers, you see the countdown for the wave. Each wave lasts so long. But just because the timer's done doesn't mean the wave is over. It just means new zombies will cease coming. The ones that are already on the map are not going to disappear. You're going to have to finish them. And I do kind of like that. That's pretty cool. So you see more weirdness here, kind of rubber banding and bouncing around and whatnot. And there you go. I'm kind of finding out that the most reliable way to kill zombies is actually just to grab them and stab them in the head, because I can't get hits to register at all. And I don't know what's up with the enormous muzzle flash in this mode. Like, that is ridiculous. And I really hope that Undead Labs does something about that, because as you guys know, we've never seen muzzle flash like that in the regular game, so I don't know why it's here. But it's really, really annoying. You see the prestige points popping up in the top left. That's how much prestige you're getting per game. For the things you're doing in the game. As time goes on, I should say. And we're about halfway through Wave 3. And here comes the Juggernaut. And this is where you're really going to see like that muzzle flash. Like, look at it. I can't even... It's blocking out the entire Juggernaut. And I can't tell if any of these shots are registering or not. It doesn't look like it. Get away from these guys here trying to tackle me, and then they run to the walls, and then they rubber band back. It's kind of weird. Zombies will come after you if you're outside of the wall, but if you kind of lay low, if you will, and stop shooting, they will run to the wall. So it's kind of interesting how they react. What I'm trying to do now is clear them off the wall. There's the Cleo airstrike. I don't know about you guys, but I've pretty much come to the conclusion that Cleo is an AI. I'm pretty sure it's an artificial intelligence, probably up in a satellite up in space, and that's why we're trying to make contact with Cleo. It's not a group. I'm pretty sure it's an AI, and I bet you it's in space. So we finally finished Wave 3. Hurrah, hurrah. And now we got a fresh wave of Cleo drops. Another thing I discovered. Too little, too late. Don't run out to recover Cleo drops with your bag full. You need to stop at your drops back behind the base and pretty much empty your bags. That way you can bring all this stuff back, because you're not going to get any more ammunition. What you have in the base is what you have, and it has to last all of you. And I don't think every person has their own individual box. I think it's shared between the group. So if you're able to get a multiplayer game, right, be a team player, run back, dump stuff off, and then all four of you run out, grab it, fill up your bags, and bring it back. I've been trying to do it by myself now that I've figured it out, but it's really difficult to try to hit all of these and keep up with the barricades all by yourself. I think with a group of even just 2, maybe even 3 people, I'd say definitely 3, but I think even if you just had one other person, you could do it, but it is pretty challenging to play this by yourself, as you guys are going to see here shortly. See the blood plague out in the distance all over the city? Trying to prioritize repairing barricades. Don't want to repair one that doesn't really too much need it. And here you can hear rather Sasquatch hinting about the infected juggernauts, the blood plague juggernauts. Just waiting for the wave to start. You can start the game. It'll give you a long time to pick your weapons, get ready and whatnot. If you can talk to the technician if you're the host and skip it and just start. Don't know if you can do that in between waves, because like I said, this was the only multiplayer game that I got to play all day long, and I was not the host. So here we go with a 5-minute wave starting on wave 4, and here again you can see hit detection kind of spotty. Snatch this guy off the wall here. Whoop! More rubber banding. That guy rubber banded right into a K-bar though. Good for him. Yeah, not really sure what happened there. And as you can see, for some reason, I just cannot hit this bloater. Don't know what in the world's going on. And then I lost my connection entirely and was never able to get it back for the rest of the day. If you lose your connection, it does give you a prestige earned, and then you're back here to pick your starting gear again and start again. And you can see we unlocked the Cleo Warhammer just in that little bit of play that we did. So you will get some initial unlocks fairly easily. And that tells you the partial download from Cleo, so that's going to be your next reward, what you get next. And again, this is within the Daybreak mode. If you back out to that first screen we saw, it'll also show you partial downloads, what you're unlocking for your survivors in the regular playthrough.
But that takes a while, and the signal sounds like an air horn to the Zeks.
There's your story background. Now, this is me playing by myself. No assistance, no help from anybody. I finally just gave up on ever getting the multiplayer to work properly. You'll notice that I do get, I think it's 3 AI-controlled helpers. Well, also the technician, but the technician really doesn't do anything unless she's attacked. So we're going to see how far I can get just playing by myself. And again, you saw me skip ahead there rather than waiting. Probably a good idea to go ahead and repair this barricade before you do that. There's always going to be one barricade that's damaged. Pretty sure it's always that one. Truth in advertising, so far I've been able to make it all the way through wave 4 and into wave 5 by myself, but that's as far as I've been able to get. And a lot of that is because I just don't have grenades, ways to deal with big hordes of zombies. I think as you continue to chip away at it, even just by yourself, single player, you'll probably be able to make it pretty far. Forgot to take the weapon off of burst, as usual. And again, when you see what I'm doing out here is I'm trying to push outside of the wall a little bit so I can keep the zombies off of it, hopefully attract their attention. I would really rather than beat on me than beat on the wall. And then I don't go too far out. I kind of stay near the road so that if I get in trouble, I can run back and jump the wall. Additionally, keep in mind ferals can just literally run straight up the wall like Spider-Man. It's ridiculous. So you don't want to push too far out because that feral is going to charge straight past you, knock you down if he gets a chance watching. Then he's like, peace, I'm out. He's going straight for the technician. So that's the reason I don't push too far out playing by myself. You need to stay near so you can protect the technician from ferals. The AI, they're better than nothing. They're a hell of a lot better than nothing, really. But they're not great. You'll see them frequently just pouring rounds into zombies ineffectually. But I don't think you would get anywhere in this game if you didn't have the AI's help. So it is nice of Undead Labs to put them in there. And at least they're helpful, even if they're not great. Of course, no AI is going to be as good as having a player. No, there's wave 1 down. You can see we got 50 prestige for that, plus whatever we got during the wave. I wasn't keeping track. Now, to give you an idea, from what I understand,
I can download blueprints directly from Cleo.
you can hear the technician talking about how you get blueprints for new stuff in between waves. From what I understand, it costs you about, I would say, 3,000 or so prestige to be able to recruit one of these Red Talon operatives into your community in your regular State of Decay 2 playthrough. So you can see it's going to take you quite a few rounds of Daybreak to get there. I'm sure you get a bonus for actually completing all 7 waves. But right now, I can't do that because I'm playing by myself. So I'm going to have to be chipping away at it slowly but surely. And to be honest with you, I just don't think I have that much time to dedicate to this game. So I'm really hoping they get the multiplayer worked out sooner rather than later. I've still got a MechWarrior Online video that I need to finish off and get to you guys. A couple of those actually. I got several episodes of the State of Decay 2 playthrough I need to get to you guys. And I've even got some World of Tanks videos I want to put up. So, yeah, you could do it. You could chip away at it single player if you had nothing else going on. I definitely have other stuff going on. That was a nice 2-for-1 there. So I'm really hoping they get the kinks worked out of the multiplayer aspect soon. And there again, you see that muzzle flash, the poof. Like, I don't know what is going on with that. Like, smokeless powder, not a new invention. Don't know why we have these huge puffs of smoke coming out of our weapons. Can you imagine if weapons really did that? A platoon in the defense and a lazy W firing. Wouldn't be able to see 4 feet in front of them. You'll notice there's a lot of these armored zombies in Daybreak, and that's a significant issue since Content Update 4.0, where fire doesn't hurt them. It just turns them into running, burning zombies. So, yeah, you're going to have to deal with them.
Uplink is established. I'm starting the download now.
And deal with them pretty quickly. Trying to pop his helmet off there and be done with him. It's another reason I like to go outside, so I don't burn up a billion rounds shooting helmets. That, I find, is the most effective way to deal with them. Even though you have a very highly skilled operative here, his skills are kind of a combination of the specializations. So for, say fighting, he'll have aspects of swordplay, aspects of striking, aspects of endurance, like a combination of all the specializations. Very powerful. He doesn't have the leg sweep thing from swordplay where he can cut their legs off and finish them. Doesn't seem to have the grand slam either, so he can knock them down and finish them. So that's why I just grab them from behind, stab them in the head, and be done with it. And there's the first Clio drone strike, which signals pretty much the end of wave 2. Barricade's looking pretty bad here. And again, it allegedly kill zombies that are out there in the distance. Who knows if it actually does or not. Fix up this barricade. And trying to jump over the barricade there to see if I could do it, but I can't. You have to either take the ramp or the exit walls. And you can see on the minimap, the Clio drops. I wish that they would all populate and give you little arrows on your minimap, similar to how you do supply drops in the actual regular playthrough game mode, because it can be obnoxious to track down the Clio drops, because as you can see, if they're not on your minimap, you have no indication of where they might be, so you're kind of running around blind. You don't have very much time. Every second counts, especially when you're trying to do this by yourself. So hopefully in future iterations, they will give you those indicators as to where the Clio drops are. Yeah, this works great in multiplayer and kind of gives some tension to, you gotta hurry, gotta rush to get them. But it's not that bad because there's 4 of you. In single player, it's crippling. Not only are you trying to make space, pick all this stuff up, burn it all back, you're also fumbling around looking for it. And yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Gotta huff it all the way back. Even Marathon wouldn't do you any good because, of course, you're coming back loaded up with junk. Now we're here to get some fat loot. Those are the Clio packs. Apparently all the Clio weapons work off the same type of ammunition, which is kind of cool. From what I've seen, though, the Clio weapons are not terribly accurate, other than maybe the sniper rifles. I've got the Clio pistol. I did unlock that. It's okay. The submachine gun I've seen, man, that thing ugh, is horribly inaccurate. I haven't really seen the Clio assault rifle or shotgun yet. I know they're out there, but I haven't actually seen people playing with them. And then sniper rifles are, their sniper rifles are reasonably accurate, but the submachine gun, not so much. So we'll see how the rifle is if I can ever get to it playing by myself. And you see what I'm doing from back here is just trying to hit them and stagger them to keep them off the wall until I can get over there and get hands on them. You can actually use the bloaters. I'm trying to keep them away from me here because, again, keep in mind, this is only the second time I ever played this mode. What I figured out is while you've got the thermal grenades and no other choice, you can actually let them close in, get a little closer, pop them from a safe distance, and then throw your thermite grenade into the cloud and burn up a whole bunch of zombies in a massive explosion. But I didn't figure that out for another couple of waves yet. Again, the nice kind of, it's not as much of a lazy W as you'd like it to be, but it's a little bit, so it allows you to shoot from the center out to the sides. That's a nice touch rather than a flat wall that creates dead space. Nice to see that somebody thought of that. So you can engage pretty effectively from inside if you want to. I really think that's a nice touch. Too often you see walls that are straight and tall and just create a whole bunch of dead space on the far side and therefore are of marginal value at best. So kudos to whoever thought of that. It's a small touch, but it's a nice one. Also, you can jump off as you just saw me do. If you just sprint to the end, they'll do that whole sit down animation and scoot off. I've been in the army for 20 years way, and I'm trying to save my knees. You can jump off of it and save yourself a little time, get down quicker. I do notice that the helmets seem to come off a little easier in this mode. Don't know if that applies also now to the standard blade mode. I haven't played that yet since the Daybreak patch. But it is nice that you don't have to shoot them in the head a half dozen times, or at least I haven't so far, to get the helmet off. Generally 3 or 4 will do it, which is still kind of, yeah, you know. And we're going to rock and roll on this juggernaut here. See if we can get him down before he takes our barricade down. Excuse me, hiccups. He is just... You really, really get the gist of how dangerous juggernauts are in this game mode, where they're actually taking down walls. It's not really communicated well in the standard game mode because the buildings are indestructible, but here, juggernauts are a real threat because, as you can see, they can take down a barricade in a skinny minute.
That's another download.
And there you see, download complete. We got a reward. That would be our remote detonated grenades. Bigger detonation radius than standard grenades, and you can detonate them at will. So what I tend to do is toss them next to the walls. Try to get 6 of them, which is enough to toss one next to every barricade. And then when I start to get swarmed, I'll detonate them all. You'll put this barricade back up here. And as you can tell, while I'm trying to do this, the time to go out and gather the Clio drops is ticking away. So this is what I mean when I say I think it would, even just having one other person would be a huge benefit trying to play this game mode. But with one, I'm really thankful for the AI. I don't think you could do it without them, but it's still pretty challenging trying to do it by yourself. Get out here and grab some of these Cleo drops. There's your remote grenades there. They're pretty nice. Not quite as precise as C4. And you notice if you clear out the Cleo drop, it detonates. I like that. That's a nice touch because if you're playing with other people, it saves you the time and frustration of running up to a drop thinking there's something in there and there being nothing in there. So I do like that they detonate like that. I also like that it doesn't hurt you if you're not aware of it and you're trying to talk or do something else. I'm really glad that it doesn't hurt you when they detonate. That would have triggered me a little bit. And yep, here's the threat of plague-infected juggernauts again. I also have noticed as you progress, the Cleo drops get better. As I was saying earlier, I did manage to clear wave 4 on my third try by myself. Excuse me. So the Cleo drops between wave 4 and 5. That's where you'll start to see Cleo weapons, as opposed to just the Cleo ammo. So yeah, don't toss that stuff in the first couple of waves just because you don't think it's useful. You will have a use for it later, even if you haven't unlocked the Cleo weapons yet, because you'll get them in the drops.
Watch out, I saw a plague zombie.
Good job. Shot the guy that I was tackling. Another one of those armored zombies. Clear these guys off. That was nice. I try to conserve ammunition in the first like 3 waves. You don't really need much of it. That was an interesting throw. And you see it flashing there. Oh, look out. That's the remote detonated grenade, and here you can see me setting them next to the walls. But it's a little difficult to be precise with it because they bounce a little bit. That one went pretty nicely where I wanted it. And I don't think your explosions... Whoops. I was just testing it out there to see what it did. But as you see, it's pretty nice for clearing out zombies off the walls. As I was saying, I don't think any of your explosions, as far as I know, will damage the walls. So feel free to put minefields, C4 charges, whatever you got near the walls to defend them. It doesn't appear that your explosions will detonate them, or your detonations will damage the barricades. And again, that's nice because that would have made them completely useless, or damn near. I suppose you could set them across the street, but it'd be kind of a hassle.
Okay, repairs are done.
By the time you realize you really needed them, they'd already be up on the barricades and past them. Too bad there's no claymores. My kingdom for a claymore in this mode.
You see the Zed?
Thought I heard a juggernaut.
Really? A juggernaut?
I did hear a juggernaut. Get this guy out of here. There's the juggernaut. And remember, juggernauts are pretty much impervious to fire, so don't try to set them on fire, you'll just make it worse. I was not trying to set the juggernaut on fire there, I was trying to kill all the flunkies around him. And that's what I mean. Nothing worse than a burning juggernaut. And as you can see, when you try to melee him, it sets you on fire. And we'll get up here and finish this juggernaut off.
We have to hold the line.
Now, Torn, again, if I had just one other person, one of us could clear the technician, the other one put the barricade back, but with me, I have to try to balance what I'm doing, and I decided it was more important there to get the wall up because it didn't appear like there were that many zombies inside the wall. Another nice touch, I think, is when you finish repairing or putting up a new barricade, when it pops in, it knocks the zombies off of it, which kind of, gives you a little break from, especially if you're trying to do it yourself. You don't feel like it's going to get torn down the second you put it up. Knocked myself down with that remote grenade. There you see the usefulness of explosions. Able to clear them off that barricade there. But the Pharaoh got in, and the AI weren't able. All three of them couldn't manage to kill the Pharaoh. Yeah, so that was my second ever game of Daybreak, and I gotta say it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it so far. Here's the score screen. Like I said, I've gotten a little bit better at it, but I've only played I think 3, maybe 4 games total. Enjoying it so far, but really hoping they get the multiplayer aspect fixed. So that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and comment down below, and we'll see you on the next one.